So let's look at question 8. In this case, the record producer gave the band $50,000 to write and record an album. They then invested this money into an annuity that provides a monthly payment. So just quickly, an annuity is where you're investing at $50,000. In this case, it's at 3.12% per annum. And that's going to be compounding monthly. But as the interest, as that earned interest, you actually then pay money out. So overall, over time, what happens is that money will slowly decrease over time. Okay, so it says here, after 6 months of writing and recording, the band has $32,667.68 remaining in your annuity. Now, in a question like this, use a finance solver. Okay, so remember, finance solver, because I'm going to run out of room here. Oh, actually, let's just actually write it here. I'm going to go NIPV, PMT, FV, and CPY. Okay, so in this case, we can fill some of these out. First off, our PMT, that's what we're after. That's what the question's after, monthly payment. So cool, that's what we've got to put in there. Okay, our N is going to be 6 because it's after 6 months, our N is going to be 6. Our I is 3.12. Our PV in this case is 50,000. Now remember, what you need to remember is you're taking that money and putting it into the bank. So that means that's going to be a negative 50,000. Okay. The FV is going to be 32,667.68, and that's positive because that's basically what the bank's giving to you, giving back to you after 6 months, or what you've got in your bank account from the bank. It's the best way to think of it. And CPY is 12. So let's put that in the calculator. Now I've got some previous data in there, and that's fine. I'm just going to change it. That's going to be 6. That's going to be, what was it, 3.12. Then we're going to go here and we're going to go 50,000. Payment, we'll come back to that. Our FV is 32,667.68. We go back to the payment. I don't need to delete that because that's where my cursor is. That will calculate it for me. And as you can see, I get a value of 3,000.00. It's asking in dollars, so you would have to worry about the cents. That means it's going to be, we get the dot, so that answer is $3,000. Okay? Because that's the money coming to you, coming back to you from the bank. So that's why that's positive, essentially. But so the answer is 3,000. Okay. After 6 months of writing and recording, the band decided that it needs more time to finish the album. To extend the time of the annuity, they're going to work for 3 months without withdrawing a payment. After this, the band will receive monthly repayments of $3,800 for as long as possible. The annuity will end with one final monthly payment that will be smaller than all the others. So what we're asking you is to calculate the total number of months that this annuity will last. Okay, so let's have a look at what we can say before we do anything else. So we've had 6 months. So we're going to, so remember it's a total number. So I'm just going to write over here, total number. I'm writing over here just so it's a little bit out of the way. Equals 6 months here. Okay, we know there's another 3 months there. We have to do some calculations here, but this is just to start off. Plus the 3 months, plus. Now, this is this one here. So I'm putting a big question mark, and let's even put a highlighter over it. So that's what we don't know yet. Plus, and if everything works well, we should have +1 because there will be one final monthly payment that will be smaller than the rest, than the others. So that's the one. So really, we need to find that value to work out what's going on. Okay? So let's look at what we've got to do. Our first thing is to do, we're going to have to do basically 2 finance solvers. We have to do a finance solver here. I should actually change the color a bit. Finance solver here and here. All right, so let's do the first finance solver. I'm going to write out the things. I'm going to write out N, I, PV, PMT, FV, and CPY. Okay. And let's write out again because I'm going to have to use this again. I, PV, PMT, FE, and CPY. Okay. Okay, so let's do the first one. So how many payments is it? How many things? It's going to be 3 because that's the 3 months. This first one with this is the 3 months. Second part is going to be 3.12 because that hasn't said that's changed. And let's actually just say that's the same here. That doesn't change through both of these. Now our PV is actually going to be this value here that we've actually talked about, because that's what it is after the 6 months. But now it's going to be negative because in this case we've had it in the bank. We're now giving it back to the bank. So let's put negative 32,667.68. Our payments are 0 because we're not paying anything into it. Our final value, well, that's actually what we want to find out. Okay, so let's put a highlighter. And then our CPY is 12. Okay, so let's put it in the calculator and see what we get. So change that to 3. Luckily, I don't have to. I'm just going to go Control C. And I want to keep the negative here. I'm going to go Control V. Payments are going to be 0 if you remember. Delete. 0. Final value. This is what we want to find. So I'm just going to press enter. And as you can see, I get 3293.23.150, whatever. Okay. So let's just actually write that out. 32923, and for my purpose for the moment I'm just going to round. Oh, actually let's write the whole thing. 098, because it doesn't matter at this point, because normally if you're talking about money you round to the second decimal point, but we're not using this value directly straight away. We're going to use it, but we don't. It's not our final answer. That's what I should have said. So let's look at what we need. So that's our first bit. Okay, that gets our final value after 3 months. So we've sort of got the 6, we've done the 3. So now we need to look at what we need to put into this part here. Okay, our CPY is going to be 12. Okay, all right. So we want to use this thing up. It's going to be 0, our final value, because remember, the annuity will end. So when annuity ends, it has to reach 0 because you've used it all up. Our payments are going to be 3,800. So that's going to be positive because the money's coming to us. All right. Our PV, it's basically that value you just calculated. So that goes, oops, wrong a little bit. Let's actually do it in black to so that's that value there with a slight difference. It's negative now. It's for the same reason. 15098. That is a 9, by the way. For the same reason that one became negative, because now the money's came to us. Now it's going back to the bank. That's the best way to look at it. And because it's looking after how many payments, we're after that one there. All right. So let's have a look. Let's put this in the calculator. So I'm actually just going to Control C that, because that's going to save me time trying to copy that out. I'm going to go Control V it. Our payment now is 3,800. This is now 0 because our final value is going to be 0. And we're going to go up to the top here and we're going to press enter. And we get an answer of 8. Oops, haven't changed that. We're going to get an answer of 8.7. All right, so the 8.7 what that is. So that means if we go back to what I draw over here, equals 6 plus 3 plus, that's 8, and that's, you got the 1 there. So the 8 comes from this. The 0.7 corresponds to, that's smaller than the amount. Okay, so that's actually your final payment that's less than the others. Okay, so we add those up. 9 plus 8 plus 1 is going to be, sorry, 6 plus 3. That is going to be 18. Okay, so you're going to have a total of 18 payments. And that's how you would do that question.